Well, then let's slide on over to
I'm not moving.
the other big studio who released something
No touching.
this last week. Disney Pixar released Soul over on their streaming service, Disney Plus.
Wait, they have a streaming service?
They do.
Never heard of it.
Has some Star Wars stuff on
Never
it.
heard of Disney.
You should definitely watch that.
What's Star Wars? What's Disney and Star Wars? I don't know any of this stuff.
Shout out to my mom and dad who got me
I thought Star Wars was Fox.
dope new Star Wars shirt, because the one that I was wearing I've had for like 10 years and is definitely faded, and like the elastic's gone, so it's kind of a sad collar.
Ooh. Boo. Anyway, Soul.
Make sure it lasts longer.
So yeah, let's talk about Soul. What'd you guys' initial impressions?
My initial impression, I don't even know how long it is into the movie, and I don't think I can say. Maybe 2/3 of the way through, and I was like, this is okay. And there is an emotional scene and soundtrack portion that flicked a switch in my brain, and I went, here we go. It's about to hit Up and Coco cry levels, probably. And I ended up really, really enjoying it. Thought it was really good.
Yeah, Tyler?
I didn't actually write out a tweet for this. I'm gonna wing it.
Boo.
I really enjoyed Soul. I think it deals with some mature themes, although it keeps the kid gloves on for most of the time, obviously. But all in all, I really enjoyed it. I love Jamie Foxx, so I'm a huge fan of anything he does, and he does great in this as well. And talked about musical cues. All the musical stuff is really good in it. I don't have any real complaints.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit like Coco. A lot of this movie is about music, and it blends that so well into the story and into the emotion of scene to scene, that it's able to take a very difficult topic, which in not necessarily death. That's kind of part of what's going on, but it's how we live life and
Purpose. It's
purpose and what gives you joy and why do we live, and has a really smart message about it that I think may go over some younger audiences' heads, but even like
I'd say definitely.
any kids that have been, I don't know, I think even teenagers will get this and be like, oh, like that's inspiring. And adults like me who are trying to figure out where we're, are we happy with where we're at? Are we, what does it mean to be content versus ambitious? Like it had a message for me too that I was really happy with.
I'm gonna steal something. I think if you have ever made a decision in your life, I think this movie will resonate.
So everyone.
What should I eat? Like that kind of decision?
No, like a real decision with real a decision with real consequences.
Should I have tacos or should I have pizza?
Like if you've made a career decision. Like
Yeah.
I can think of one right now. I turned down a job about 1.5 years ago.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. Like if you've done that, this movie, if you've done something like that, this movie will resonate.
Yeah.
In some form or fashion, you will find something in it that makes you go, well, crap.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think this movie
I said that actually. I'm pretty
for
sure.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this movie is probably going to be a little hard to talk about without talking spoilers, but real quick, any pros, cons? I know there's one.
Get it out of the way. Animation. It's Pixar. It's always incredibly beautiful.
Yeah.
It looks real. Like it looks like real life, like with the piano keys and the leaves.
Oh,
and
I
He's
love the
playing
reflections
the
on the
piano.
piano.
the details, and then you throw in like these strange shaped people. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
somehow it works so well together. It's just so gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'm blown away every time.
Yeah.
I remember we went and saw Toy Story 4, kind of like on a whim.
The rain.
Wasn't even excited for it because I'm not like a diehard Toy Story person. But then it started and I was like, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Is this live action? Nope. It's all done on computer. It's ridiculous. Blows my mind.
Yep.
I think Jamie Foxx and Tina Fey do a great job bouncing off each other.
Yeah.
This whole movie, it makes it even more enjoyable than it could be.
And I really appreciated that I didn't hear Joe and was like, oh, it's Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, no, he did a good job.
And same with what's her character's name?
22.
22. He just like, oh, Tina Fey. I love Tina Fey.
Yeah.
Like, no.
I didn't even know Tina Fey was in this
Yeah, she's 22.
until the movie started and her name popped up. I was like, she's in this? Who's she?
So is Daveed Diggs.
Yeah.
He
My
has a song on the
biggest.
soundtrack.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
I wish Jamie Foxx would have gotten to sing.
Mm,
It was really
He was
kind of
just a piano
sad.
player.
Yeah, it's kind of sad he didn't.
it would have been cool to have him do a little freestyle. Like,
I think he's got something in the credits, but
soundtrack.
great, fantastic.
Was-
Love that there's two competing
Yes.
soundtracks. It feels like there's
There's-
two separate ones.
There's two. If you're not aware, there are definitely two kind of separate areas in the film. The real world and the spirit realm is, for lack of a better term, to avoid spoilers. So the fact that like both of those have their own kind of unique sounds and music to go with them, I thought was really cool.
Yeah, you had Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross doing the like almost sci-fi sounding stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of the piano themes, and then
Has opinions tonight.
a lot of the jazz stuff. The original jazz music is John Batiste.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's great.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I finished this movie and I went, hey, Alexa, play some jazz music, and I just listened to it for a bit. It was so good.
Yeah. Real quick, let's give our ratings and then we can talk spoilers. We won't probably go as long as we did with Wonder Woman, but
Nah.
what do we got?
How about you go first?
Oh, sure. I will probably give this a high fanboy worthy. This is like bordering on Booyah for me. I think that it's maybe just because it's a Pixar movie. I think we kind of have this idea that it has to also be for kids, and it services the kids in a little. The story really.
It's for adults.
It's for adults, but they do enough to service it for kids that I actually think it might be a little better if it just was for adults.
Mhm.
If that makes sense. And so, like, as not one that I'll probably be showing my kid anytime soon, like, maybe it's probably just misses the mark in that regard.
So I'm gonna take what you just said, and the same reason. How do I word this? I can compare this movie to Joker in a weird way,
Ooh.
in the sense that like the reason they called Joker is so that it's a little more digestible.
Mhm.
Because if it was about just your neighbor across the street, it's a little bit harder to watch.
Sure.
Soul is that same thing. It's a kids movie, so that adults can digest that just a little bit easier. I think that's how I kind of view it. But it's fanboy worthy for me. It's not bordering Booyah like Brett,
Sure.
but it's fanboy worthy.
Fanboy worthies all around.
All right.
3 for 3. Not bordering Booyah, more with Tyler.
Okay.
Mainly because I don't know if a kid will enjoy this really at all.
Yeah.
Excluding the middle bit with how one character
Yeah.
is used.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's on purpose, and I feel like it's for the kids.
Kinda
It's maybe a little detrimental.
And I think that
to
hurts
the actual story.
I think it hurts the movie a
It
little
does.
bit.
Sure.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, I wanted
you would
to-
know that.
I wanted to. Sorry, go ahead.
But the emotional story about purpose and spark hit so hard.
Yeah.
So hard, and I loved that. That I think really probably middle school, probably comprehend this, and up. I really think you'll really get a lot of it, a lot out of it.
I think it's fitting. Middle school's probably right. I think that's why middle school band teacher.
Yeah.
Like, it's probably,
Yeah.
that's probably where they expect people to kind of understand.
Also, they nailed the middle school band. Woo. They're bad. They're bad. They're bad.
I think what moves it from Booyah to Fanboy Worthy for me is just that, like, they have these themes and they have these topics you can tell they really want to go into, and they just don't. Like, they just don't go into it in the way that you want them to, or the way I want them to. Like, and it's hard, right? Because it's a Pixar movie. It's to its detriment that it's a Pixar movie. If this movie was written for adults, I would have been sobbing the entire movie.
Yeah.
I would have been a mess.
So my closest comparison I have for this movie is It's a Wonderful Life, I think. Not a kid's movie.
Not a kid's movie. No. And one of my favorite Christmas movies.
Mine too.
But I can understand where that comparison comes from. Yeah.
So if you like It's a Wonderful Life and you don't know about Soul, check it
out. Should we talk some spoilers real quick?
Let's do it.
I think I'll just jump in here with my biggest con. And I think it's because I think my biggest con is there's not enough at the end to make Joe's return to the Earth emotional. I wanted there to be a reason for him to choose. I wanted him to have to, like, wrestle with, maybe I have had my time. And
That's exactly what I'm alluding to.
Right? And I don't know how you do that unless you introduce, like, maybe there's a stronger relationship there with his dad, and he has that potential of going to be with his dad again. But then you get into afterlife stuff, and this movie is not talking about the afterlife at all. It makes zero comments on that, which is fine. But it makes it really, really easy for the character at the end to be like, yes, please give me more Earth.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's to its fault, right? Is I wanted the same thing. Like when they like present him with that choice, I'm like, okay, he's gonna choose to he's lived his life. Yeah. It's time for him to move on. And he's like, all right, cool, thanks. Yeah. And like walks through the door, and
and I'm gonna live every moment of it.
Yeah, and then
I like the message there. I just want that to be a
right. I mean, the message is life's worth living.
Mm-hmm.
It gets it across.
Well, it's the little it's not about your. I don't know. Not about this.
Your purpose isn't your reason to be alive.
Yeah.
Find joy in life in general.
Yeah.
Don't find it in specific things.
There's not this. Yeah.
Your purpose isn't your only reason for being here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You need to just enjoy it.
There's these little things like the donut and the piece of pizza crust
Oh,
and
dude,
the lollipop.
when she cut the freaking seed, I was like,
seed.
no! Like, here we go. I'm gonna cry. I know it. And I did. I guess if we're doing cons, my biggest con was the cat.
Yeah.
I felt like throwing in this really kiddie thing into this movie that just isn't for kids kind of really just holds it back. Like, you have that moment where he's talking to his mom, or 22 is talking to his mom for him. It's an emotional scene. And like before that, you have the he's, oh, the cat, what's wrong with your cat, man? It's like, can we get to the good stuff? I don't want to engage with this cat.
I think the cat provides some good too, though. Like when he's in the barbershop and he's just kind of learning about all the people in the room he just never paid attention to, right? Yeah. Like that scene works so well for me because it's kind of one of those things, right? Like every now and again we need to take a step back and read the room. And that was something that he clearly wasn't doing, right? Like he didn't know that his barber had this other life that he wanted to live and never got that chance. And so he kind of starts to see like, okay, everybody's not exactly what they are doing in this moment, right? Like there's life to be lived. There's things, and like that scene, that cat scene, helps it so much. And I don't know how you get that scene without it.
Yeah, I don't know.
What I would do is I would just have him be ghosting around his 22 is walking around in his body.
Oh, so he's
Still there. He can observe, but he can't. It's like, oh yeah, that's so funny. I did not laugh a whole lot during this movie. I know Tyler, you said you laughed.
I laughed quite a bit.
I laughed quite a bit.
Yeah.
There were some parts where it's like, the Knicks joke killed me.
Yeah,
that was funny.
That is hilarious.
That was so funny. But like the dude spinning his sign and everything on the ship, I was just kind of like, I think this is supposed to be the funny guy. Like the cat was supposed to be funny. I mean, that's the kid. That's the kid bit, really. And I was just kind of like,
I liked the Jerry's and in the pretty much anything in the Great before.
Yeah.
Was I enjoyed a lot.
I loved the Spirit's design.
Hmm?
I thought
it was
like
Soul's design or the
Jerry Terry's.
The Jerry Terry's.
The lines.
The lines. How it was 2D.
Yeah.
In this 3D world, and how they just like.
I like how when he comes to Earth and he's like in the graffiti and stuff. And I was like, oh man, that's really cool.
Yeah. The Great before though, I didn't really love like the souls designs and the little baby souls and everything was kind of looked like a marshmallow. And I think a big portion of that is I just love Pixar animation in the real world so much. And then I go to this place and it's just like fluffy.
See, what I like about those though is like the coloring.
Yeah.
And how they kind of like fade into this translucent blue yellow thing.
Yeah.
I think it just looks really cool.
I did love the stairs though. I thought that was super pretty with the Great Beyond with the.
Oh yeah.
It was super bright. I did like that design.
The light. Go to the light.
He was running, man. He's
You
like,
did not want to go there.
like, no, thank you.
We handled that. Terry, look. That part cracked me up.
That was great.
That whole thing cracked me up.
Ah.
Some fun little Easter eggs in there too.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see any other movies represented though, at any point.
Oh, like other Pixar stuff.
We didn't see the Toy Story ball or the Pizza Planet truck or.
I never noticed that stuff.
I don't ever on the first pass. It takes me a couple to know where to look, and then I see it.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that hit me the hardest was when he had a student come over to his apartment for a lesson, and she was adamant about quitting, even though she loved playing the trumpet and trombone. See, I don't know.
I knew Luke would correct you, so I didn't want to.
I got you.
Thanks, man. And 22 is in his body and responding to her and seeing how all three of those characters, no one's static in that moment in terms of what they're learning. The girl's learning something about herself, 22's learning something about the world, and Joe is learning something about himself and the girl and what it means to be about living for more than just your passion, but living for others. And that's one of the things that other thing I thought could have happened at the end was him going back to being a teacher and finding out that
that's what I was hoping.
Maybe his spark was actually
teaching,
something to do with helping others.
He doesn't need to be in the big band. He can just help others learn jazz, which is his passion.
But I think the movies goes to a very it intentionally it is not making that decision. Mm-hmm. It's saying it really doesn't matter what you do, just live with intentionality, right? Yeah. Which I thought I'm happy with that message, because a lot of the times I think very similar.
Not a lot of movies cover that.
Yeah.
Cover new ground. There you go, Pixar.
Other thoughts before we wrap up?
I don't think so. Once that first tear dropped, though.
Yeah.
I was like, darn it. Here we go. It's going to be Coco all over again. It wasn't. Nothing will ever be Coco all over again.
Special.
Dude, Coco That is one that I just cannot get through without bawling my eyes out.
Watch out, I'm playing once. What a mistake.
I'll never watch that movie.
It was
in
like my
public
6th
again.
viewing too. I was like,
If I'm ever at a party and they're like, "Let's watch Coco," and be like, "I'm going home." Like,
I'm out of here.
busy. I gotta wash my hair.
I can't do this.